What's up, YouTube? Hey, I'm creating this video to show you how I outfit my truck for traveling across America based on SOPs I developed as a former convoy commander in the US Army and taking lessons learned of what works for me downrange and applying them to my civilian life. So I'll be showing you how I set my stuff up to deal with the probable situations that I may encounter while driving across the country and how to mitigate those risks by having the proper planning and the equipment inside my truck. Alright, starting off with the cab. First off, I have two big German Shepherds in the back seat. Hey Marley, that's Jax. So those guys are definitely going to be a huge deterrent while driving across. People generally don't break into vehicles when you have a 110-pound Shepherd and an 80-pound Shepherd sitting right there that are going to bark their heads off at anyone coming up close. So moving up to the driver's seat, starting with the door. Looking up here, going top down, I have a spare pistol mag, hollow points, and then some pepper spray to deal with any kind of risks that don't require lethal force, but I still need to get out of the situation. So, going down here, I got an IFAK along with a lot of other small pieces in there. We call it a boo-boo kit. If you got some scratches, cuts, small things to deal with like that, maybe a little bit of medicine, ibuprofen, things that are actually practical and that you might have in your medicine cabinet, bring that shit with you. Coming over here, immediately have a tourniquet that is prepped and ready to use. You roll up on a injury or someone in a car wreck, or yourself if you get into a rollover or some big accident, you have that immediate access. The passenger door also has one, and there's a few more floating throughout this truck. So coming into the center cab, I got a solid mount to hold my phone on since I use that as my primary navigation system, along with a functional charger and a backup one in the back seat. Also have some snacks in there, always have some lighters, multi-tools, some energy drinks, keep yourself awake. Then guarding the back seat, we got Marley Girl here. She is covering my cigars. I got a portable humidor and a bottle of bourbon. Said whenever you show up to some place, it's always good to have your vices with you. And also in the door here, we got some cold weather gloves, and a large knife, pry bar basically, and some beanies, and then some work gloves up there, along with rain jackets and other cold weather jackets that are tucked up underneath the seats here. Got to have everything ready for any kind of inclement weather. So I know a lot of you guys are not driving long bed dualies, but a lot of this equipment and gear can be consolidated into smaller packages. But since I have the space, I'm going to utilize it to its maximum advantage. Coming from the left and starting from the tailgate, I have my medical bag. This is my mass cow bag to deal with any kind of car crash incidents that I might come upon, along with marking devices such as a VZ17 panel and some road flares. That way I can at least put out some markers if I'm responding to some kind of situation and lower that risk of getting hit by an oncoming vehicle. Too many people get hit by trucks or cars on the side of the road as they're working on their stuff. So I will also use that if I need to change a tire and even if I'm pulled over fairly far away from the road. Toolkits, incredibly important. Absolutely recommend having a functional toolkit in the back seat of your car or your truck, wherever you want to put it, but have enough tools that allow you to use your entire capability to fix small things in there. I got wires in there, I have fuses, O-rings, things of that nature that are incredibly practical. Here, I'll actually show you. So that way I can work on whatever I need to my maximum ability, along with this big socket set, and repair it myself instead of having to pay a tow bill and then have some other shop fix it just because I decided not to bring my tools on the trip with me or have to rebuy those tools. Big Yeti, where else is your beer going to go? But also, if you're doing meal prep, such as what Cassie's doing, it's a lot easier to bring your food with you. Might as well have a refrigerator, essentially, in the back of the truck, too. Dog food, check. Range bag, IPSC targets, and clothes. Along with a fluids bin up there, the little juice box. I got a lot of extra fluids for underneath the hood and or cleaning the vehicles and dogs. Coming back, some clothes, ammo. I throw an extra backpack in here just in case I need to have one and walk up and down a small distance. I don't have to carry a bunch of supplies. If I had to walk up to a gas station to get a small hose or some more fluids or some other kind of bands, I can have a small carrying device. You don't need a whole rucksack in here. Ammo, since we'll definitely be doing a range day, and a large jack. So the bottle jack that comes with this truck, honestly, I don't like using. I prefer this one. I know it can hold the weight of my truck, and I have it ratchet strapped down so it's not sliding around and about to hit everything else in here, knocking it all off. Coming back to my large box that's also back here. Again, this is where I'm going to get to first in the incident of having to pull over, break down, or respond to some kind of situation. These are the immediate items I need, and they're not jam-packed behind clothes or other crap that I might have in here. So what's in here? Fire extinguisher. I'm not letting this truck burn down. I like it. Jumper cables, an impact gun with a charged battery, and the socket I need to change my wheels on the side of the road. Having the charger so I can recharge it and ensure it's topped off at my next location. Plenty of tie downs, tape, air chuck, towels in case the dogs decide to go swimming, which they will up at the lake house, and just some other useful functional items. Nothing that's just taking up space in there, but I have an actual application for everything in there. I can create a much more detailed list of how I set this up, but these are just some of the basic items going over I wanted you guys to see. Dog bowl. And let you know how I set my things up. All right, so let's talk servicing. Too many people don't pop their own hood and drive a vehicle. They rely on the dealership, daddy, or some other person in their life. But if you're driving that vehicle, it's your responsibility to make sure that you got enough fluids and they're reading correctly for what you're about to do, especially if you're taking a road trip. So, considering first things first, fuel. Do you have enough fuel to get to the next fuel stop, gas station, truck stop? Wherever it is in your route plan that you decide to go to, you can actually make it to there. Don't leave your house on a quarter tank. Don't drive on a quarter tank. It will burn up your fuel pump. The fuel actually cools down the pump inside your gas tank. So take that as what you will. Talking about the other fluids underneath the hood. I'd pop it, but fuck the EPA. They don't need to know what's under my hood. So going over the fluids though, oil, make sure you got enough in there. Make sure there's no milky color on there. Make sure there's no metallic flakes in there. You should not be constantly adding it up every couple weeks. Engines aren't supposed to burn oil. You're not driving a two-stroke. You have an issue. Don't use that vehicle as your road trip vehicle. Get that taken care of. Transmission fluid. Your transmission is the second most expensive thing to go out on a vehicle. There's specific ways to read the dipstick on there. Look in your owner's manual. It's probably in the glove box. And see what it tells you to do. Usually it has to be at operating temperature, and you have to have it neutral or park. Pull that dipstick out to get an accurate reading on there. It should be a cherry color, so you're looking for that bright red. If it's dark black, brown, burnt smelling, probably going to have issues in the near future. Consider taking a different vehicle. Brake fluid, power steering fluid, and coolant. Those all need to be at the minimum line on there. There's a fill line, and it's very obvious. They make it stupid proof. And also your windshield washer fluid. Make sure that shit's topped off too. You don't want to be trying to hit that button and nothing's coming out. Windshield topic 2, make sure it's clean. Use Rain-X, super effective, and put new wipers on. Before I leave any fuel stop, I always clean off everything on there. When that sun, especially during the fall winter time frame comes, is blinding you as you're driving up a hill, that's a damn hazard to yourself and everyone else on the road if you can't see because you got too many bugs in your windshield. Clean that shit off. It's too easy. Other general maintenance things to consider: tires. Make sure you got quality tires in there. Don't buy the cheap Chinese crap to save some money. If you're going to get into a wreck, high chances are a tire could be a culprit of it. Whether it's popped, blown, or doesn't have tread and you're skidding across the water in the rain, hydroplaning. Invest in good quality tires. Make sure you got good tread on them too. And that they're aired up. A lot of new vehicles have the TPAIS sensor or TPMS sensors that'll tell you on your dash if you're fucked up. Listen to it. Fill them up, because driving underinflated tires wear them way quicker, leading to issues. Quick walk around like, hey, that's good. That's fine. Other tires, spare tires. Got that one up beneath there? Check it, make sure it's not dry rotted. When's the last time you actually looked at your last tire or spare tire? Make sure it's got the correct PSI in there. They will deflate over time, but make sure you got the tools to change. Like I showed you earlier, I got the big jack in there, have my impact gun, fucking NASCAR fast. Zip, zip, done. If you don't have that, know how to use a scissor jack or bottle jack that comes with your vehicle. Or ask somebody, ask your neighbor, hey, do you actually know how to use this? Could you teach me how to? Because you want to do it in a nice bright day like this, versus on the side of the road at midnight in the rain. You don't want that to be your first experience, especially if you don't have the Google machine that is your phone showing you a YouTube how to do it on there. So hopefully you've taken away some things from this video and can apply it to yourself. I will be creating a checklist and an item list of what I carry with me and what I deem important that I would recommend to anybody in any situation, no matter what type of vehicle they have, to ensure that they're set up for success. Because getting stranded on the road is no fun, and having to pay expensive tow bills, potentially hotel bills, and then repair bills when it's something you could have done beforehand is unnecessary. So look for more videos, like and subscribe if you like this. I'll do more on this channel about vehicles, firearms, and other topics. Catch you later.